Ali, this is Mr. Questions, issue 14. I have actually wanted to review, I think, issue 15 for well over a year now, but it just seems inappropriate to review a story about a police who is a racist man, but then at the end, he is a hero. This one is about survivalist nuts burying Mr. Questions in the ground. It is the premise for the whole issue. Mr. Questions is stuck in the ground with only his head popping out. It is a unique idea. It's fun. It is a good way to trap a character for an issue. Maybe because there is an inherent goofiness to it. Am I alone? I admit I have no experience with being buried alive. But I didn't understand how someone could be trapped this way. There is no cement. There is nothing keeping them constricted. If you were buried in the ground like this, you could just get yourself free. But I think that it's a bit of a concept where you can... I'm not quite sure if this works, which makes it so interesting. Mr. Questions... He tries to manipulate the survivalists into digging themselves into similar holes to prove their superiority. But the most he manages to get out of them is that they say that if he manages to last longer in the ground than their leader, when their leader did this years ago, they will let Mr. Questions go. Then we have subplot here, the political landscape of Hub City. This is an intriguing series. They are doing an omnibus next year. I don't know if I recommend it. The series isn't that consistently good, but it is a series worth a look. It might work better for you, but it was the case that I really liked some issues, like this one or the next one, and then there were ones about New Age philosophy and vision quests, and I can live without that. I didn't think there is any issues with tarot cards in them. So that is the most positive summation of the series as a whole. No tarot cards. The strength of this issue and most of the title is the lead character being somewhere between a wisecracking genius and a cynical, entitled misanthrope. I have always thought that people who relate to this character, people who relate to Mr. Questions, if you relate to this character... No, maybe not relate, that's not really enough. If you see Mr. Questions as an aspirational figure, or you want to be like him, then you are pretty much an arsehole. It's a bit like Stephen King. That book that he did that was about a school shooter, I think it was called The Rage. He made that one and he let it fall out of print because it was inspiring a bunch of school shootings. Well, I think this is a similar case where this series has inspired a bunch of cunts A bunch of elitist, miserable cunts. Self-serving manipulators with dubious morals and integrity who believe they are a voice for the people. They speak for the underclass or the public, but they also think they are better than who they are speaking for, and also everybody else. We do have some good stuff with Mr. Questions aggravating and badgering his captors and trying to push them into actions that would benefit him in some way. The element of him being trapped, that is great too. He is very helpless, and we have him having to live through rainstorms and weather conditions. That is the stuff I like. And he has a bunch of visions and fantasies when he is stuck. He causes one of the soldier boys to question, pun intended, their honour. He starts to think that a crab is talking to him. I'm not into things like this, but it is short. But most of it is just him winding up these tightly strung soldier boys, trying to get them to lose their shit and kill each other, which is what happens. Like one guy, when he was in the hole himself, all the survivalists have done this weird hole thing. Well, he was having a terrible time and screaming while Mr. Questions is handling it with ice coolness. Yeah, they end up killing each other because that one guy wants to let Mr. Questions go because they said that they would, while the others want to kill him because he knows too much. Then at the end, when they are all dead, he just pulls himself out of the ground. Like I said, he would be able to do anyway. I guess the threat is that if he does that, they will shoot him. But it's Mr. Questions. He could do it when they're all asleep or when nobody is watching. And he could take them out by catching them off guard. Like when there was that rainstorm, I doubt any of them were sat outside watching him. He displays limited emotion in response to the one honourable soldier boy who died trying to save his life. But he poses for a splash page where he looks like he is suffering some internal anguish from the experience. Very poor for the course of the series. You didn't get much insight into a person. You get silent moments like this that are meant to convey much more than the script ever does. This advert on the back is great though. This is one of the best advertisements for a comic ever. Really, really good. Never read it though. I think I have come off quite flippant and down on this, or at least the main character. But I like it. I like this issue. It has got a simple idea and setup. It is Mr. Questions being trapped and how he deals with it. He is a decent character. I would recommend this issue. 7 thumbs up out of the ground.